All right, guys, so it's February 10th, and tonight's call is about 3 things that I'm going to help you with changing your business for the new year. But just to start off, right before we got on this call, Darby texted me and told me that as of 2016, we have added as a team 64 new coaches to the Elite Empire. So that is awesome. Everyone is doing such an amazing job this year already. So I really feel like it's just everybody's year to get things done and to shine and to become a leader. So all the training, every call that we do is super important that you use it towards your training, your own downlines as you're adding these people in, and also coming up with your own systems for them to follow as well. But great job, everyone. It's just been an awesome year already. I can't believe it's only February 10th. I feel like it's just a crazy start off for our team. So really awesome job. I'm so proud of all of us as a team. So really excited to talk to you guys tonight. I'm really hoping none of my kids wake up because my husband isn't home and my baby is sick, but I have a lot that I want to say to you, but I'm going to try to do it quick, easy, painless. And of course, I have a slideshow because you know I love my slideshows. And the first thing I want to say is obviously if you listen to the National Wake Up Call this week, I basically stole his call and reinvented it into my call because I probably could have been him saying everything on that call this week. I really believe that everything he talked about is what I already set in motion to change and to accomplish and to make better in 2016. And you guys see that my business has been rocking so far. And I'm not trying to be like, oh, I'm the best or anything. It's just these things that I changed in my business, in my life, in myself that has brought me to where I am as of February 10th of this month already at 24 Success Club points. All of these new coaches, almost every single new coach I've added has become Emerald already, and they're just going to the sky's the limit. And it's because of me and my changes. So I'm going to get right into the slideshow so I don't talk over myself too much. And just give me 1 second while I share it. If you guys are on the phone and you can't see my slideshow, I'll be descriptive and it will be recorded either way. Darb, you can see it? Okay. All right, so let me just close this out. Give me 1 second because I can't see it. Okay, hold on. All right, so 3 changes that will change your business that I am going to talk about. I put some inspirational things on this first page. Fly, so first love yourself, others will come next. Entrepreneurial people are passionate about what they do, comfortable with taking risk, and quick at moving on from failures. And cross out I can do it to I will do it. That is a huge thing that I changed in my business with my coaches this year. I do not let any of them say can or try or we'll see or can't. Those words are not in our vocabulary this year, and they are just not part of our life anymore. And it has changed everything for my coaches and for myself. So you guys really need to get that loving yourself and being comfortable with the business that you're doing is the most important factor in this business. And we're going to get more into that as we go. But these were 3 quotes that changed my month so far. So I really wanted you guys to see them. Hold on. All right, so number 1 is take ownership. This is the first thing they talked about on the wake up call this week, and it was everything for me because this is something that I feel like I've been drilling in my own brain. It's just been, I wake up every day and I own what I am doing. I stopped feeling sorry for myself. I have moments, don't get me wrong, Darby can attest to that. I have these days and these moments where I start to blame myself, blame everything I feel like I failed at last year on myself, and I start to just kill myself with failure. And it happens to us all. So if you think for 1 minute that we don't all do this, we do it even worse than you're doing it because we have bigger failures this year. So stop sitting around and waiting for someone to grow your dream, because for me, that's what I was doing last year. I just kept going by like, oh, people are always going to sign up with me. They're always asking me. I'm doing the work every day. I work out every morning and I'm doing the motions, right? But that's only one part of the vital behavior. There are two other components. So you need to own all of it. You need to be all of it. And if you think for one moment your upline or your father, mother, sister, husband, brother, sister, someone is going to grow this for you, it's just not going to happen. And we've said it before, and I'll say it again, especially for all the new coaches. I have almost zero family on my downline. I have almost zero best friends on my downline. There is no one there that came and said, hey, I'm going to do this. I'm going to be awesome just because you're Angela and I know you. That's not what happened. Yes, I had people that became discount coaches to support my dreams. Yes, I had a few people buy a challenge pack here and there. But I'm going to tell you one thing is for sure. I did this almost completely on my own with nobody backing me up. And only this year, in this first month of business in this year, has people in my life finally stopped and said, wow, Ange, you're doing a great job. And I promise you, in all 19 months of business, I didn't have that. So if you think someone else is going to grow this, if someone else is going to boost your worth every day, it's not going to happen. It's up to you to own your own life and own your own business. And I put this picture up, and Rosanna made me this picture a while ago, and I use it as a hiring post a lot. And I love it so much because it says, if you don't build your own dreams, someone else will hire you to build theirs. And it's so true, because that's exactly what I did forever in my whole life. I've always been this person. I've been a goal-oriented, goal-getting, go-getter, and that's just who I am. That's how I'm bred, and that's who I will always be. And whatever I do, I have passion. But I was doing it for other people's businesses. Like, I was growing and making things bigger and making things better, but I was getting 25-cent raises and I was getting $50 bonuses. I mean, it was just insane how much work I did and how much time I spent away from my family. So just remember, this is your dream and your business, and no one else can own it but you. So stop waiting for success to come to you and take the ownership of your own success. No one will make you successful. The only people that are going to make you successful are the people that you attract to your tribe, and they do something great. But for that reason, they found you because of what you did. You didn't create their success either. They created their own, but you attracted them by doing the things that you're supposed to be doing. Don't wait for your upline to tell you what to do. Own your own business. This is something I am so guilty of. I used to wait for coach trainings, and I used to wait for the next thing we're going to do in the month. And as successful as I may have been or not have been, this is something I am guilty of. I never made my own videos. Yes, I recruited my people. Yes, I got them on calls. Yes, I had a little thing that I did on my own, but I wasn't doing it all. I wasn't taking ownership of my whole entire business. I don't need to wait for a coach training. I need to make a coach training. I need to send my own welcome email, not something that someone generated for me and said, hey, this worked for me, because those are just guidelines to what worked for someone else, but now turn it into your own business. Success is 100% on you. You need to make it happen. It's no one else's job to support your dreams or your goals. So if you're one of those people that are crying because you're like, oh my God, my mom just won't sign up with me, or my sister just doesn't want to do a challenge pack, like, who cares? You don't need them. Like, move on, find someone else. You don't want those people to support you. You want to find your own people. You do not want to say that anyone did this for you but you. I promise you, it feels a million times better to know you grew this for yourself, and that it is really, truly, at the end of the day, a real legit business, okay? And you can turn around and say, I did this, I'm amazing, and I'm awesome. Okay, so my favorite part of that whole little thing he talked about was, he said about making sacrifices and adjustments, and what are the things that you can give up? Where are those hidden minutes, he called it, in your day? And I loved it, because honestly, I haven't watched TV in months, and I am a TV junkie. I have 10% left on my DVR because I tape everything. I love every show. Reality TV is my thing. I'm obsessed. Me and my mom chat about it like every day, and I like, she'll be telling me things. I'm like, I haven't watched it. Don't tell me. I mean, there are like 2 shows that I watch on a daily basis where I can't miss it. And I don't want to tell you what they are, because one of them is Teen Mom, and that's really embarrassing. But that is like it. Everything else is like no go. I made a decision like 7 months ago, and I stuck to it, which I'm really proud of myself. And I said, the one thing I spend too much time on during the day that I can give up was TV. so I gave it up. And every day I'm like, I'm going to watch TV today. And every day I don't. So that was something I sacrificed. And it may not seem that important to you, but I love TV. So it was to me. Going to sleep later. I have 3 kids that don't sleep. And the best times that they do sleep are from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. And I am up working my business like a crazy person during those hours. So can I sacrifice my sleep and can I sacrifice my business and get sleep a little bit extra? Of course. Do I have to do it every once in a while? Like Monday I crashed and I did it. Of course. I'm not crazy. I'm not inhuman. I'm not a psychopath. I was on Monday because I was exhausted, but I listened to my body and I had to turn off my brain and turn off my phone and go to sleep early, regardless of what was going on in my business. And that's fine because I know that those other days, that's my sacrifice. And I give up going out to dinner with my mom on team call nights all the time. So I like barely ever leave this house by myself. I'm not even a real person. I swear to God, like I'm a robot mom over here. And my husband's almost never home. And the nights that he is home and we have a team call, my mom is home too. And she'll say, hey, I'll come pick you up. Let's go for dinner. And I don't do it. Or I do it and I run home because this is my business and this is my baby and everything else is second. And that might seem crazy to you, but that's what separates the success of the business from the unsuccess of the business. And that's just the real truth of it all. Time wasters give no return. You have people out there that need your help. So there are people that are waiting for you. So they don't care if you're going to Fridays and getting drinks on a Tuesday night. They don't care. They need help. They need you not to be going out on a Tuesday night and getting drinks. So if getting drinks is what's important, then that's what's important. But don't complain at the end of the day that business isn't happening for you, because the people that are giving up those drinks with their friends on a Tuesday night or whatnot are the people who are always on the top of the leaderboards, the elite coaches and whatnot. Number 2, be teachable and have room for personal growth. I am definitely guilty again of when Darby signed me up and told me I had to do personal development. I was like, okay, that sounds so corny. And I'm not doing that. Like, and I'm not even like against self-help at all. So I don't know why I felt that way, but I did. And I remember it because I didn't do self-help for 2 whole months. And what happened was this. I got GoPro for Making Success Club because I've always made Success Club. So I made every gift that they ever gave. And in the beginning, we got a lot of self-help books. And the first book I was ever sent was called Grow Pro. And I threw it to the side and said, I'm not reading this. This is so stupid. And I'm not like a business person, right? So 2 months in, I turned around and said to my husband, I quit. And he was like, what are you talking about? I was making like literally $300 to $800 a week easy on selling because it was just working for me and I had been working my butt off. But when I turned around and said that to him, what had happened to me is I didn't learn how to be a business person. I just threw myself into this and kept going with the motions. I wasn't sleeping whatsoever. My hands literally hurt from holding my cell phone. My eyes I was holding open with my hands at night to read my text messages, and my brain felt like it was malfunctioning. And then I realized that I did not hang out with my kids. I didn't even like shower every day. I wasn't even working out at the gym anymore because when I'd get there, I'd be answering people's messages. And I had nothing to talk about but Beachbody. It was like terrible. So I told him I quit. I was like, I can't do this. Like, this is just too much for me. And I don't care what I'm making. It's not worth my life. And then I had a conversation with Darby, as usual, and she told me to go do something, self-development. And I remembered that I had this book called Go Pro. So I said, all right, sat down, shut my cell phone off, dedicated my time to this book, and my whole entire life changed in that moment. And I never felt so strongly about a book before, especially one about business. Like, I went to a business college and dropped out because I hated business that much. Like, I don't even know why I went there. I got a scholarship and said, whatever, I'll go. And I hated it. So the fact that I was reading this personal development book about business and it changed my life in that moment was insane to me. So it is so important. If you think that it's not, it is. Ask any of my coaches who have disappeared or went MIA or gave up on their business the last few months, and they have now dedicated their time to personal development. It is life-changing and it is business-changing. It's a vital behavior for a reason. They know that we need it. It means that you're committed to growth, your growth, but also to your team growth. Because without you doing those personal developments, what do you have to offer to your team if you don't feel like? Before I got on this call, I read personal development and I listened to like really soothing music because I pumped myself up inside for this call. So that's the kind of stuff that you need to do daily. And you have to think, is the coach you are today going to be the coach is the coach that you want to be tomorrow? So when you're like doing your self-development, that's usually when you're like getting ideas or seeing the things that you're doing wrong or you're doing right. You're like giving yourself praise or giving yourself failure, but whatever it is, you're owning it and you're understanding it and you're growing from it. This business is full of tons of negativity. We know that, right? So there are days sometimes where I just like, I'm a rock star and I feel like everyone is just vibing with me. And then there are days where everyone is just like, leave me alone, don't talk to me. And I got blocked 3 times last week. And these were people that have like been reaching out to me forever. I wasn't even like looking for them. So I was like kind of offended by it. And I'm going to tell you the truth. I've been blocked by family. I've been deleted by family. And that's fine. And that is what this is about. It's negative sometimes. And although we're positive, there's not everyone out there that feels the same way. So you need personal development, guys. Don't get stuck in being mediocre, because when you're not doing personal development, you're saying to yourself, I'm better and above personal development. I'm awesome. I don't need to change a thing about myself. And this is just perfection right here. And if you think that, then you're not growing. You're not going nowhere. And I hate to tell you that, because none of us are perfect. None of us are that amazing that we can't wake up every day and better ourselves just a little bit. So overcome mediocre, overcome failure, and be better than who you are today. And at the end of the day, do not forget to love yourself, no matter how many no's you hear, how many people block you, and how many people are not signing up with you. So I just added this. He said, David Atkins, when I got better, the people around me got better. And I swear to God, that is what happened to me this year. My downline has just become this like amazing team. And it's not because like everyone turned diamond or whatever. It's not about rank. It's just about attitude, personality, what they give to me as people on a daily basis. I'm excited to talk to every person in my downline. And I can honestly say there was a time where I was not. And I wanted to give up again, because I thought, how am I going to run this team of negative people? Because I don't feel negative. I feel super happy every day when I wake up. And like, I don't need these people bringing me down, because I work too hard to be a positive person to give in to this negative lifestyle. So think about it. Whatever you do is what you attract. We say it all the time, but it's so true. And when I got better this year, and when I felt better, and I truly, truly felt better, that's when I got better people, the people that wanted to better their lives and better other people's lives for the right reasons, not for selfish reasons. So what if you replace the word selfish with self-love? Think about it. If you're just loving yourself and you're sharing it, you're going to get those people that aren't selfish, that aren't in it just for money. It won't let it get the best of them when they're not making $1 trillion in a week, because that's just a quick fix, guys. Just like a diet, right? So we don't sell diets and we don't sell quick fixes. Remember that they both go hand in hand, and that's what our business is all about. Number 3 is consistency. And this is a huge thing in so many levels. But what I loved, what he talked about, was how he talked about the death he had a death in the family, and he kept working his business. Now, I know that sounds crazy, right? And that sounds like probably even a little bit inconsiderate, or I don't know, weird. But at the end of the day, your why has to be bigger than the punch of life. And I guarantee you that every diamond in our group right now has been punched in the face of life this year. Between 2015, or since we became coaches, I know every single one of us personally, and I know that we've all been punched in the face of life. Maybe it's not something as extreme as a death, or it could be something as little as our kids are just terrible most of the time, like mine. But I guarantee you, and I promise you, that there are things that are bigger than Beachbody going on in our lives on a daily basis. But I know for sure that we show up, we do our work, and every single day we dedicate ourselves to being the best version of ourselves. We do our workouts, we eat our foods, our Shakeologies, our performance lines, we get our daily, monthly orders of whatever, we check in with our downlines, we talk about our business, we love our business, we do it. And not because we're fake, and not because we don't care about what goes on in our lives, but this is bigger, our why is bigger than the bad crap that goes on a daily basis. Some days I just want to like hide, crawl under a rock, lock my kids in a closet, maybe even get people to come take them and tell them I'm an unfit mother. I don't know, like something crazy, because they're just psychopaths. And, you know, there are just days where it is hard and we cry and we throw tantrums and we think about giving up, but we don't, because we know how important this is. So life happens, guys. You need to keep living. And that's what we are generators of, right? Like, we are the product of saying life happens, but there's a better tomorrow. There's something better than what's going on today. And I promise you, because I can tell you, I've been through some of the worst stuff in my life, and I know that people have been through even worse than me. But for me, that's the worst thing that could have happened to me, right? Like, I lost a baby in my life. I lost miscarriages, just crazy things that have gone on in my life. And all I know is that the difference of that person then and the person that is here now is that I know there's a better tomorrow and that I own my own feelings. And I also stopped feeling sorry for myself. So when you feel sorry for yourself, you're given into this crap that you can't control. So control the things you can and keep going. Be consistent. Don't give up just because something happened. As you can see in my pictures, I put up my pregnancy with Donatello, because smack in the middle of being a brand new coach, here comes baby number 3. And I'm going to admit, I was devastated. I was so sad. I woke my husband up at 4 o'clock in the morning, threw a pregnancy test at him and said, I hate you. And he was so mad at me, because he was like, you're just mad because you're going to get fat. And I was like, I don't care about getting fat. I will have 16 babies in that belly. It's not about that. What I was upset about was that my dreams have just started to be built. I just found my purpose in my business. I just found my purpose in my life. I had big, huge, amazing whys, and I knew at that moment in my life that they were going to happen. And then I got pregnant, and I thought, oh my God, now I'm just going to be stuck at this job I hate in New York in a small apartment with another baby. I'm going to have to get a babysitter, 2 babysitters maybe, because who's going to watch 3 crazy kids? And I'm going to miss another life being born and have to go back to work. Like, I'm not doing this again. I'm just not going to be that person. And so I took my pregnancy and I made it my why. I was going to prove that not only was I not going to get fat again, according to my husband, thanks, but I also was going to prove to women that no matter what the circumstances in life, number 1, you own your own body, and number 2, you can still rock your business. And that is exactly what I did. And I'm telling you, my business went crazy when I got pregnant, because I was all about it. I put all of my focus on my business, because I knew that it was going to let me be home with that little baby. And he is just like in love with the fact that I got to stay home. And he's the only baby I stayed home with ever. And we own a house, and so we bought a house, which is my other picture, right? So in the middle of all this, in the middle of my 3rd baby, quitting my job, I bought a house in a different state. I moved to a house in a different state all by ourselves. We didn't hire move-in people. We didn't have that kind of money to do that. We invested every single dollar I made in Beachbody at that time into this house, and we did it. We moved. And do you know what I didn't do? I didn't stop showing up to my business. I literally didn't tell people I was in labor, so they would not stop messaging me, because I didn't want them to feel bad that they were messaging me while I was in labor. So I worked Beachbody all hours of the night, watching Married at First Sight in my labor room while everyone around me slept, like they were doing the hard work. And then I announced, hey, by the way, guys, I'm in labor. And everyone was like, oh my God, why were you talking to me all these hours? So that's what I chose to do. I chose to stay consistent. The first day I gave birth, I posted a picture of my Shakeology that I begged my husband to bring me. So that is what it takes, guys. Consistent. It doesn't matter. Life sucks sometimes, and moving is the number 1 stress in people's lives, but I still showed up every day, and I still made sure my internet was the first thing that was put together so I can get back to work and work around my business. So consistency is what creates success, guys. The difference between people that are successful and unsuccessful is consistency. That's it. I posted this little picture of myself that says out of the office until Saturday, July 25th, because number 1, Beachbody should not be your life. It should give you a life. So yes, I do take vacation and I do take time off, but this is the only picture I've ever posted in all of my months and years of being a coach. And I said, hey guys, I'm gone. Don't message me. Don't look for me. And that's it. And you're allowed to do that. You're still a real person. And this is what you worked for, is those vacations and times off that you can dedicate. But you need to choose it wisely. You need to make it professional. And you need to let people know that you're not going to be there. You can't just not show up on Mondays and Fridays because those are the days you go out with your friends. You need to show up every day, and you're allowed to go on vacation and you're allowed to have a life, but just make it work around being professional in your business. Some people dream of success and others make it happen is my most favorite quote in the world, because that's the honest truth. If you sit here and listen to my call tonight and tell me I did a great job, but you do not use one thing that you heard on this call tonight, that's what separates you from making it happen and dreaming about making it happen. And that's what separates you from being successful. I love that quote that says, I never dreamed of success, I worked for it, because we work so hard for the success that we have, and it doesn't come easy. There is no image to success. There's no way that you can say, well, you look this way and Darby looks that way and Natalie does that. And this, if you look at all our pictures, first of all, we all started somewhere completely different than the person we are sitting in front of you or standing in front of you right now. Because when I joined with Darby, I thought like she was like this little Barbie doll. And I was like, I'm never going to look like that. And now she looks 100 times more sick than then. Can you imagine me looking at her now thinking I want to join with her? I'd be so intimidated by her. But we all worked to where we are. Success, body, mind. Hi, Ruben. And that's the only person I see on my screen. And it just doesn't come easy for any of us. I swear on my life, it doesn't come easy for any of us. We work our butts off every single day. And just like they said, the elite training we had this week, she's like, you know, you guys just think we're just recruiting a million people without doing work, but it's not true. And it isn't. We all are doing the same work. And more importantly than anything else, and this is something I stole from our elite training, mindset shift is very important. So remember, it's not about you. It's about the people that you're recruiting. Recruiting is not a dirty word. It's something that we do. It is what we do. But if you're doing it in the right way, you're not doing something wrong and you're not doing something bad. You're doing something to better someone. So you need to remember that. If you truly, in your heart, know that your passion is why you brought that person on board and you're not just selling them on an idea, then you're doing nothing wrong. And there's nothing wrong with changing someone's life. If Darby felt bad for bringing me onto this after everything that I got out of it, that'd be crazy, right? Like if she knew looking into the future, I was going to have a house, have another baby, quit my job and run a successful business at home, do you think that she for 1 second would feel bad about recruiting me? Absolutely not. So remember that you're here for a reason and you joined for a reason and you don't regret it. So someone else is not going to regret it if you sign them for the right reasons. So don't convince people to join you. Show them that it benefits them to join, not you. The business will change their life. It changed yours and you are doing them a favor. They're not doing you a favor. So if you're acting like you're getting a favor or you're getting giddy every time someone signs up with you because you're like, I made a sale, that's not the right reason to get excited. If you're excited because you're like, oh my God, this person is awesome and I can't wait to change their lives because their why is so amazing and so big and I cannot wait to see that happen, that's a right reason. That is the reason that's going to make that why happen. Remember what a challenger is and what a coach is, and every challenger is a coach. At the end of the day, if you're doing your job right, every single person that's ever done a challenge with you becomes a coach. Remember that. It's important. It's very, very important that you are a part of your challenge groups. You are the challenger. You are not a coach. You're not above anybody else when you're in a challenge group. You are on the same level. You're doing the same thing. You're working the same programs and you have the same goals. So you need to be there. You need to show up and you don't just post your post in the morning and say, hey guys, post below and then disappear for the day, because that doesn't turn a challenger into a coach. It turns someone into the, hey, why'd you bring me here? You're not posting kind of person. A life changed is far greater than a star added to your rank. And remember that, guys, like a rank, it could do a lot of things. It can give you bonuses. It can give you recognition, but it cannot change your life. I promise you that. And confidence is not they will like me. Confidence is I'll be fine if they don't. So you don't need to convince yourself every day that you can do this, that you will do this, that you got this. You need to know that it's already done. It's a signed deal and you're just moving in the direction to make sure. When I wake up every single morning, I say, I'm an elite coach. I'm an elite coach. And I'm not, but I am, and I'm going to be. So that's all I need to know. And my 2016 business goals are, I will always be relatable. I will never be an image that people can't relate to. I will never be something that seems like it's too far-fetched or too big that they can't get to my level, even if it's the truth. Even if I said I made $1 million in a year and I really did it, I'm still going to find a way to make that a relatable post, a relatable journey in my life. I will always go for no. And I know that this was something we always said, and it was another thing I never did, but I am doing it. And I literally look for no's every single day now. That is my goal. I want someone to tell me no, because then my job was done for the day. I will celebrate every single victory for myself, but also for my coaches, my uplines, my downlines, and everyone in between, and even those people not on my team, because Beachbody is about celebrating, loving, and just being okay with everybody's success. You don't want to be envious of other people's success, because that just is an ugly thing and it doesn't get you anywhere. Trust me. Don't ever get comfortable. Don't ever think I got this. I already made Success Club 10, because you know what? One return brings you back to 8 and you lose your leads for the next month. And that happened to me last December. So I know it can happen. And don't ever work for someone else. And this was a big thing I changed about my year, because I think when we sign up, we have this like idea that we're doing something for our upline and that's it. And it's not because our upline says that. It's not because that's the way we're trained. It's just something that kind of happens. And I talk to a lot of coaches, and I think that's just the way it is for some people. And what you need to do is change your mindset this year. Remember, you don't work for anybody. There is no bosses. We have mentors, we have leaders, we have coaches, but we do not have bosses. We are a boss, and that's about it. But we do not boss anybody else around. We are all on the same level. We're all on the same team, and we're all playing for the same side. So remember, when you wake up every day, it's your business. So would you just not show up to your 9-to-5 job because you feel like not working today? Maybe you could take a sick day, and you're allowed to do that in this business. But if you did that every single day, would your business go? Would you get a paycheck every week? Would someone pay you to not show up every day? Absolutely not. So what makes this different? What is different from this, from a real job, is that you control it, but you need to be disciplined in that control. Do not get lazy. Do not get comfortable. And at the end of the day, keep it simple. Stop overthinking it. The one thing I'm really stressing my coaches this year is diamond. It is super scary when we first explain it to you. And I can promise you, the minute that I got on that training call and Darby told me, oh, you just need to sign 8 coaches and 2 emeralds, I was like, oh, that's it? That's all you have to do? Yeah, okay, don't ever talk to me about that again. Like, that was just not happening in my life. And then 29 days later, here I was being announced for being one of the quickest diamonds in our group, right? So what changed from the first day to that 29th day was that I stopped overthinking it. I was like, wait a minute, that's really not that hard. Once I got 1 or 2 discount coaches, I'm like, wait a minute, there's something to this. I get it. Let me break it down. And then I started to organize my thoughts, and I started to strategize my plan for my business. And I realized that discount coaches were not scary coaches. They were actually really awesome coaches, and they can turn into real coaches. And even if they didn't, they still benefited me in some which way. So stop being afraid and stop making it complicated, guys, because that, I promise you, is the biggest problem in your business right now if you are not diamond yet. Because I made my husband's account, which I didn't. I could have made my husband's account diamond last month. I signed 10 new coaches, and every single person that was a real coach, which was 4 last month, they all became emeralds, all of them. So 4 out of 10 coaches became emeralds, and the other half were just discount coaches. So if I would have added them all to another account, my husband would have been diamond. I didn't do that. In fact, what I did was I deleted my husband's account, and I did it to prove to my team that they can do it, because I don't need my husband's account to become diamond, to be diamond, 2-star diamond. I need my coaches to be diamond. I need them to know that they got this, that they know it. They are leaders. They are diamond and above coaches. And I do not need to run my husband's account for them to be able to see that I can do it once again. That's not what they need. And he was at the top of my tier because I used him to make myself emerald, right? So anything I added to his account wouldn't have benefited my coaches. And for me, that wasn't worth becoming a 2-star. What was worth is to show my girls that I was dedicated to them and for this team. So remember, guys, it's not just you. There is no I in team. I know that is like one of the corniest things that anyone ever created, but it's true. There's no one person. So if you're working for yourself, by yourself, and you don't care about what's going on underneath you or below you or above you, it's not going to happen for you. Gratitude is where it's at, guys. Gratitude is the word of the year, and show it and have it every single day, because I do. I am in love with this business. I'm in love with what happened in my life. And yes, I have the worst days and the worst moments, but I push through and I have gratitude for everything that I have. So be yourself, love yourself, and shine amongst those who didn't believe you could. If people thought you couldn't do this, prove them wrong. Every day when I wake up, that is my goal in life, is to make sure that no one ever says, I told you so, and no one ever says, hey, whatever happened to that beach body thing you were doing? I don't ever want to hear that. I don't ever want someone to say to me, oh, remember when you used to do that beach body thing? Remember that? Remember when you went through that phase? And I had my friend here today, and she's like, oh, this person's a beach body coach, and this one, and this one, and this one, show me your whole Facebook. And I said, yeah, but I'm the best beach body coach, right? Because like, that's how I wake up every day, and I think I'm going to prove to everyone that this is more than just a hobby. This is my business, my baby. And I don't know what that is, but let me stop my share. So I know I talked fast and whatever, but I wanted to really get all the information in. I wanted you guys to really feel the passion in my voice and really understand where I'm coming from. Again, I know this is so many things that we tell you, but I really just feel like if you're not doing these things, if you're not getting what I'm saying in this call, there's just nothing that's going to come out of this business for you. Like, that's it. That's the end of it. And I don't know how many times we have to tell you that. And I am just the person that gives the motivation speeches. So yeah, maybe we could have trained you on something else tonight, and we could have given you another tip or whatever. But this is what you need to hear. You need to hear like the slap in the face truth. You need to know what goes on in our lives sometimes, because I think what you forget is that we're real people. And any day of the week, if you call me, I am like screaming at my kids. They're hurting each other, beating each other up, spitting at each other, peeing on my couch. Jess, I know you're really into this right now. Yeah. He was peeing in the cup holder today. I mean, like literally standing over it peeing. He's not even potty trained, but he knows how to pee in the cup holder. So there are things that go on in my house that I just don't wish on anybody else. I have fights with my husband. I cry. I called Darby crying last week because I was having a huge fight with my husband, and the last thing I wanted to do was be happy for other people. But what I did is put my big girl pants on. I realized that I'm not going to divorce my husband over the fight that we had, and we're going to make it work, and it's going to be better. So I'm going to go work, because work makes me happy. Work makes me positive. So that's what I did. And any other person that had the fight that I had with my husband probably would have curled up in a ball, cried, and like, I don't know, did something, go drink. I don't know. I don't drink, but maybe that's what I would have done with old Angela. So I didn't do any of those things. I sat down and I did work, and I added like 6 coaches that night, because I let my bad, crappy day make my day better by building my baby. And that's what I did. And I treat this just like I treat my kids. It's very close to my heart. Every single coach on this team, not just my own downline, everyone means something to me. Everyone means something to your upline. And if you think you're just another person on a team, you're not. Everybody here is recognized and loved. And I just want you guys to really know that there is no sale in this game. There's no way that if we were selling you on an idea, we would spend our nights on Monday nights, Tuesday nights, Wednesday nights, running team calls, making coach trainings, and doing these things. So give that same dedication to the people that you sign up. Because even if you sign up just one person, that person needed you and they want your help. So don't give up on them. Don't ever say I only have one client or I only have one coach, because that's one person who believed in you, and let that be the guide into your business. And that's really all I want to say. I don't know if anyone wants to ask questions. We have a chat here. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Totally digging it. Thanks, Carla. Your passion is completely contagious. Thanks, Trish and Alyssa. When you work at night, you send in messages as well and just wait for people to reply in the morning? Sorry if that's a silly question. Okay, first of all, no questions are silly. Don't ever say that. What is that thing? Like, no questions are stupid, whatever. Anyway, I'm really into these like quotes. But I do this is what my new goal is. So I can't tell you what everyone does in their business, but I have tons of messages by the end of the night, because usually between certain hours, I'm putting my kids to bed and I'm making dinner. So I usually try to answer the first set of messages before dinner and during my work hours. Then I disappear for a while because we have lives and that's what we need to do. And every once in a while, I might be looking at my phone and check the important stuff. But mostly what I do is right before bed, and usually why I never, ever sleep and I wake up all hours of the night with Beachbody on my brain, is I answer everyone. And I don't care if it's one word saying that I'm going to bed. I'll answer you in the morning. Hi, Lil. Or I'm so distracted. Or whatever it is, I just answer. I don't care. I just need them to know that I saw it, that I'm not ignoring them, that whatever. So you have to really go by what the message is about. So if someone's asking you, hey, can you describe the 21-day fix? I can't say, hey girl, how are you? And then disappear. What I would say is, I can definitely give you all that information. I'm just going to let you know I'm going to bed for the night, but I will answer you back during my business hours tomorrow. And that's it. Like, come off professional if you don't have the time to answer that question right then and there. But you don't have to answer all day long. Just remember that. So you wouldn't send that like in the middle of the day. Hey, it's not my business hours. They don't need to know that. But if you didn't answer your messages for a certain amount of time, what I do is I made a commitment that before bed I answer every message and I don't leave anything unread. I've been really bad at that the last 2 days. So if you're my coach, you know that I haven't answered a lot because I've been on these calls and stuff. But I dedicated that new year to that because that's how I lost all my business last year. I'm going to be honest, is that I stopped answering and then I'd put it off for a few days. So don't do that. Thanks for all you do. I just started talking to someone that's same goals as me, used to be a coach, stopped because she didn't have time. What is the best way to show her doing this with me will help her? So what I did today is I did something a little different. I've been running personal calls, Zoom calls with all my prospects and my potential coaches, but it's very time consuming and it's hard to get on calls with everybody all day long. And that for me, my new year is also about making it short, easy, consistent, and organized. So same thing with like my training and whatnot. Everyone gets the same email. So I do the same thing with my potential coaches. I made a personalized slideshow. You know, I love my slideshows. And I told them who I am, what I offer, why signing up with me would be their best option. I give them all the reasons that our team is amazing and I'm amazing. And then I show them what the actual coach opportunity is about. And maybe in her case, Ashley, she already knows because she was kind of part of a team, but you don't know what she knows and what she doesn't know. So don't assume she knows anything and start fresh like she was a new coach. Don't convince her why to rejoin Beachbody. Just do the same thing that you would have done for someone that never joined before, because then what happens is you fall into this level of competition and then people are going to start thinking that you're just trying to win them, and that's not what you want. So when I talk to a new coach that a new potential coach that may already have a coach because they did a challenge or whatnot, like Stephanie G, I don't know if she's on this phone call, I think she is, but she's one of my newer coaches and one of my most favorite people in the whole wide world. And when she wrote me her application to become a coach, I legitimately almost died. And I made a vow not to look at my phone before 6 a.m. And I did this one day for whatever reason. It was like almost like it was meant to be. And I read her application and I was so inspired by her that I wanted to go through my phone and hug her. And I wrote her back immediately. Like, I looked like a little kid on Christmas. I was so excited that she found me. And we got on the phone that day and I did something different. I didn't run a video. I came off real. And I said, listen, I would never do it this way, but you had another coach already. And I just want to tell you what I offer as a coach. And I don't want to convince you why I'm better than your other coach. I'm just going to tell you what I know about me. And then I'm going to let you make your decision. And if you decide the coach that you signed up with and that you did your challenge group with is the coach for you, I will not be offended and I will not be upset, because you are going to be an amazing coach either way. But I am telling you that you spoke to me and I want you, and this is what I'm going to offer you. And I told her who I am, what I do, and what I've accomplished in my business and what I'm about. And she decided that she wanted to be with me. And it was one of the best moments of my life because, you know, she picked me for who I am and I didn't have to win her over. And I can guarantee that if I tried to convince her, she probably would have went with the other person because she would have thought I was just selling her on an idea. And that's not something that anyone wants. So I hope that answered your question. Thanks so much. I will let her know to get to me, the real me, blah, blah. Yeah, and guys, don't be afraid. With that being said, don't be afraid to take time on people. That's what it's all about, time. Personal commitment, personal love. You need to know what's going on. The person who I want to sign up right now that I just sent my video to, that's the reason I made it, because she's very busy. And I thought, you know, if they're busy, I'm busy. Let's just make something I send, right? I've been talking to her forever, and I've always thought she'd be a really good coach, but she has a lot going on. She's pregnant. She owns a salon. She just took the salon off. She's a business owner, but she was a new one. So it was a lot going on. And I said to her today, I said, listen, you just keep talking about how much you exercise and you're so pregnant and you're so amazing. Like, just be a coach with me. Like, I know that you can do this. I know we can do this. I will guide you. I will help you, blah, blah, blah. And that was it. Like, I just reached out and I thought for sure she was going to tell me no. Like, she's like 9 months pregnant. She has a salon. She's given it to someone else to run while she's on maternity. Like, who wants to start another business? And she does. So guys, you have to be personal. You have to know what's going on in their lives. I knew when I reached out to her that she was a business owner. She was pregnant. She was this, she was that. She was running every day since she got pregnant. She was very excited about it. So I went in with those details and I closed it because I knew what was going on in her life, and I never stopped knowing what was going on in her life. So it does take time. It takes effort, and it takes a little bit more than just, hey, join my team. So I know that's something that it's really hard, but that's something you need to learn. And that's why personal development helps, because you learn how to do that. So I think that we're all done, right, guys? Is anyone wanting to say anything or ask another question before we sign off? Are we all good? Everyone give me a thumbs up. I hate when everyone just stares at me. It's like so awkward. All right, cool, guys. I'm so excited about this call. I really, really hope that you guys got so much out of it. And I just want to congratulate you guys again for all the success in this new year already. I mean, like 64 coaches is insane. Darby, is that the most ever, like in the first month of business? Yeah. Yeah, so that's awesome. So guys, that's really awesome. And that's not just one person, that's everybody. So keep going, train your coaches, train your downline, but keep training yourself. You are not training them only. You are training yourself every single day. I promise you, we're all training ourselves every single day. And I love you guys. Thank you for taking time out on this Wednesday night. And that's it. I'll post this in the group. So if your downline was not on the call, make sure you tag them. And last but not least, one more thing, your cup teams. If you are on a team or you are a leader especially, please make sure you're checking in with your teams. Make sure you guys are shooting for something. I mean, you don't have to make a billion, trillion points. You don't have to win, but you need to be running your cup team. You made a commitment. You joined a team. You're either a leader or you're a teammate. You're all on the same level. Make it happen. Be a team cup entry that actually made some points. Okay, guys? That's it. Love you. Bye.